Shalom, shalom. I want to start off. Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Waha, Rakhagadashul. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and the freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, this is edifying video. Shalom to the confusing the face, brethren, join on to our ranks. This is the brother Yahweh Sap out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson out of the book Guinea Pigs, Technologies of Control by John Hall. We're on chapter 6. It's titled Organized Stalking. And before I start, I want to start with a scripture. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, starting at verse 1. A psalm of David. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. Verse 2, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Verse 3, trust in the Lord, do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land. Verily shall thou be fed. But I'm going to stop there because I'm going to get another script. It's the book of Micah 2. Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Verse 2. And they covet fields, and they take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And who is this speaking on? This is speaking on Esau, Edom. You know, those are those wicked men that the Bible speaks of, the wicked, because it says in the book of Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And, I mean, these more than likely, some of these people that helped come up with some of this technology, more than likely could have been Israelites, because it says in scripture that the Israelites are basically, I forgot where is it at in scripture. It talks about how Jacob is the former of all things. I think it's in Jeremiah or something. Salakia, don't quote me, but I know it says Jacob is the former of all things. It's either in Jeremiah or Isaiah. Salakia though, but it's these Edomites, these red Hebrew Edomites, these pale people that actually came up with this technology to actually harass, stalk, abuse, and control. They weaponized it basically. You know, and but at the end of the day, it's a purpose behind it. At the end of the day, you're supposed to trust in the Lord, because ultimately that's what we doing. Ultimately it's the will of the Most High. The Most High gave them the power and the ability to come up with this stuff, and the Most High. I think this is the wrong script. Salakia. Because at the end of the day, it's the Most High that's in control of all this. It said the Lord orders a man's steps. So all this is the will of the Most High. So us that's in this faith, that know this truth, and that deal with these afflictions from our own people, from these 2/3, from these other heathen nations, from this red Hebrew Edomite, you know, from these left hand spirits, just throughout all of it, we trust in the Most High. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, this is His will. I don't know exactly why I got this. I don't know if I'm gonna bring it out. But my point of bringing up the scripture is because, like I said, at the end of the day, evil men are going to come up with, their plans or whatnot. But it's ultimately the will of the Most High. At the end of the day, you got to stay your course. You got to deal with it. And although, like, the men, and it's in the truth, that see what's going on and realize it. Like I was just telling a guy I know yesterday, at the end of the day, it's one thing when you know that when you're trying to do the right thing and you suffer and you're like, well, damn. But it's a totally different thing when you understand when you're doing the right thing, you're going to suffer. You know what I mean? When you walk in this walk that we're walking, trying to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, that show you how truly wicked the world is, how really everything's upside down. That's why it makes all the sense when righteousness is restored to the earth. Did the righteous gonna have their way? That's why it's gonna be heaven on earth. I'm not even gonna bring that out. I was gonna bring out Luke. Maybe I will, but I'm gonna jump into the articles. I don't mean to make this article that long. I just try to bring out some scriptures because, like the apostles have mentioned and spoken on multiple times. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with reading an article here and there, but it's got to line. Everything got to be backed up and lined up with the scriptures. You know what I mean? And I believe we all fall victims of kind of like running off at the mouth. But if you're not bringing out no scriptures, what's the point of even doing these videos? So it says chapter 6, organized stalking, and he tends to leave like verses of the Bible. Keeping it close, this is Luke 20 and 20. Keeping a close watch on him, they sent spies who pretended to be honest. And the title of the chapter is organized stalking. It says in January 2008, the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, publicized its survey, Stalking Victimization in the United States. The results were alarming. Complaints of stalking and legitimate enough to be included in this study were up exponentially from the previous survey done in 1996. So you go on 12 years. An estimated 3.4 million people were victims of stalking, while another 2.4 were victims of harassment. The study covers victimization occurring in 2005 and the first half of 2006 and acquired about events in the previous 12 months. 6% of the 5.8 million total suffered electronic monitoring, such as spyware, bugging, or video surveillance. While many of the victims were stalked by someone they were acquainted with, 1 in 10 victims were stalked and harassed by people unknown to them. The study defined stalking as a course of conduct directed at a specific person that would cause a reasonable person to feel fear. Approximately 130,000 victims reported that they were fired or asked to leave a job because of stalking. Another study published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine in 2006 found that 7 million women and 2 million men in the United States have been stalked. The study was from the National Center for Injury Prevention and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Also found that individuals who were never married, separated, widowed, or divorced experienced significantly higher rates of stalking than those individuals living with a partner. A 2002 study found no gender difference in the mental health effects of stalking. Both male and female victims experienced equal rates of impaired health, depression, and injury, were more likely to engage in substance abuse than their non-stalk peers. Okay. It says between 85.4 and 93.6 of stalking perpetrators are not prosecuted, and only 56.3 of those convicts are sentenced to jail. Moreover, the 2008 DOJ study reported that the most common police reports to the stalking complaints was to take a report. The most common police response to, to the stalking complaints was to take a report, while in 20% of the cases no action was taken at all. About 50% of the victims perceived no change in the stalking and harassment after the police were contacted. Obviously, we have a growing problem with stalking and harassment in this country based upon several governmental studies. However, I would propose that the problem is compounded by the lack of appropriate law enforcement engagement at the local level. This may be due to several factors. The reporting officer's perception of the victims as mentally ill for believing that they are being stalked. Ignorance on the part of local law enforcement as to the extent of the problem. Difficulty at obtaining enough evidence to justify arrest. 4. Knowledge on the part of law enforcement officials as to the difficulty in prosecuting stalking cases. 5. unwillingness to dedicate the manpower needed to investigate what they perceived as a low-level crime. Ain't that about a bitch? Look, it says stalking is a low-level crime, but from stalking, you don't know what a person's stalking you for. Stalking could be motherfucker stalking you to rape you, rob you, motherfucker murder you. This was said that this play. Salakia, I'm gonna stop there.